must be lagging or something because it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast proudly brings to you one half of its TikTok Tag Team Champion of the World. It's me. It's that M-A-T-T. And riding with me, as always, are these two jabronis, Scott and Phil. So how you fellas doing today?
Great. How you doing, man? How you doing, Phil? How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing awesome.
And we got the AEW review from last night.
Yes, sir.
On a Stone Cold National Stone Cold Day.
That's right.
HPW
316 day. And if y'all ready to have a great podcast, give me a hell yeah.
What?
Hell yeah!
What?
What's going on, guys?
Gonna have myself a Diet Coke. What?
Yeah, and a water.
And a prime.
Yeah. Wrong show, sorry.
All here on the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. What?
What?
So AEW last night.
AEW last night.
With my boy Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys can go. Let's go. Let's talk about this.
I mean, he commands the ring when he's in that. Like, when he has the stick, you shut up and you listen. Because you don't want to miss anything. And yes, he does. He had great cheap heat calling out those idiots from Canada.
That was pretty clever. I mean, he's clever on the mic, I will say that. I mean, I can't stand him. Matt knows that. He's a heel. He's doing a great job as a heel. That's why I can't stand him. But like Matt said, why do I turn into AEW every week? Because I want to hear what he says. So,
I mean,
and he's brilliant.
He is. So. He's the best on the mic. For a scathing promo, he is the best in the business.
Yeah.
You can tell he grew up watching the likes of Piper. He watched The Rock. He watched Jericho. He's watched all the greats on the mic, and he just that stuff that his cheap heat that he got from the Canadian, he does that in every city he goes to, though. You know what I mean? Like, right. He's in his own town, and he's going to get cheap heat.
Right. And that segment was you could pick apart that segment in two parts. His first part when he was talking about Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, that was him, and then his little chair parade or whatever. So we can talk about that part first, but we can't leave out the last part when Darby Allin and Guevara.
We got Jungle Boy, we got Sammy, and then we got Darby. We have the four pillars of AEW in the same ring.
And apparently they're all out of shape.
Yeah, and what? Yeah, and apparently why are all three of them down there? Same reason. They want a title match.
Well, they're all out of shape, too. Did you hear it? Darby's all like... It's like, calm down, my guy. Like,
why is there so much hate, bro?
No, I'm just saying, like, all of them, all four of them, they were breathing like they got Frank
Holes in the house.
Mr. Holes.
What's going on, Frank? Thanks for stopping by. But no, I love the diss he did on Bret Hart, and he didn't leave Shawn Michaels out of it at all. He just knows what to say, and I have to believe he does. He has to write his own shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was brilliant last night. It was brilliant.
Absolutely. You know, the funny thing is too, like again, MJF controlling the room. It's like all three of them show up, and he's like, "Oh, so you all three you want a piece of MJF, huh? Oh, you got me McShooken up in this bitch."
Yeah.
You got me McShooken. I'm like, what's McShooken?
What's McChicken?
Sounds like a brand new sandwich at McDonald's.
Right.
Can I get a McSix?
Like, I need a McShookin, please.
One McChicken. Does that come with or without pickles?
Yeah, is that kosher or no?
Not the kosher.
So, I mean, it was his rebar mitzvah, man. I mean,
yeah. Oh my god.
And the fact that like, and he made each of those girls like kiss his cheek and then like makes out with that last one. I'm like,
yeah. And I mean, to be honest, like all three of them had some really good points in their own separate promos. Besides, apparently, all three of them just sounded like they just ran a marathon without shoes.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy obviously came out there, gave us the exact reason why he was out there in the first place. Only time he ever had a world title shot was back in 2020 and spent basically the past 3 years on AEW Dark and AEW Elevation. And I don't know. Yes, my producer. Anyways, but yeah, going back on that, yeah, Jungle Boy spoke a lot on basically he had to like basically he spoke for all three of them when it was like I had to grind my way to the top. I went through 3 years of like blood, sweat, tears, soul, everything just to get to where I am right now, where they're just like, it's like, oh, you're MJF. Here you go. Like, run with it, bro.
To be fair, when those guys were ripping on him, Max, he went through the indie circuit as well. I mean, you can't. He was GCW. You know, he wasn't just handed this.
It was MLW.
Yeah, I mean, he did essentially the high end indies, and he was very successful in both. It's not like he didn't earn it. And you talk about earning it. Sammy Guevara, he can be a top guy. I've been saying this for a while.
Yeah. I can see that happening in a few years. I don't see him doing it like right now, though.
Well, I think their point was, though, guys, they all went through the indies. You're right. But they, Matt, Darby, Jungle Boy, Guevara, they started at the bottom of the indies and moved up. They put their time. Yes, did MJF, was he in the indies? Yeah, but he was the MLW. He was the GCW. Where these other guys were in these other Midwest, whatever, trying to run. They ran the roads day in and day out and day in and day out. And MJF and he's good. And I'm not saying it's not against him. It's that they had to bust their ass more. And then he gets into AEW and he is what he is. But he's good. So why wouldn't Tony Khan put him in the spot he's in?
Well, I mean,
exactly.
But what about, Jack Perry? I don't know. I'm not saying that Luke Perry had anything to do with him because, he's passed on. But having a famous dad doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he got some bookings early on because of what his last name is. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But, really, the only guy out of those three that came down that wanted a piece of MJF last night that earned it the hard way was Darby.
Mm.
And I loved the reference he made about just putting it on Twitter. What am I going to do? I'm going to go put it on Twitter, guys.
If I don't get a title match against you, MJF, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm just going to go on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yo, when Darby was doing that little voice of his for MJF, I could not help but die of laughter. I'm like, like, I'm trying to hold it in, but I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
And then Sammy with the punchlines, though. Sammy was the guy, like, he was that guy. It's like, you don't want him. He was that, like, dude in the alley that, like, is, like, will stalk you at night just to get your wallet. Like, he's like, don't make me turn this bar mitzvah into a circumcision. I'm like,
right. And
then, of course, it's like, oh, wait. Yeah, Your fiance left you.
Yeah.
Well, what did he say about? He says, "What are you going to do? Is get engaged to another girl in 2 months or something like that?"
Yeah, he goes, in 6 months you're going to get engaged to another
girl in 2 months.
Yeah.
Or wait, that's right. She left you, didn't she?
But yeah, now a little side thing on Darby. He actually appeared on an episode of Sex Put Me in the ER.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Back when he was still dating Priscilla Kelly.
Yes. Something to do with his junk got like, I can't remember what the whole story was, but he was on an episode of that. Like, he acted in the episode. I'm not saying that it happened to him, but like, he was one of the actors in the episode.
Yeah.
Can't remember the episode right off the top of my head, but it was the Sex Landed Me in the ER was the name of the show, and it was on TLC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch MJF's Daddy Daycare reference to Sting and Chris and Christian Cage?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, I'm like, really though?
That was powerful. It's just good mic, good stuff. The Daddy Daycare. AEW Daddy Daycare. Awesome.
So, what the hell? Why is it not?
But then after the match, he's just MJF is after the whole thing. MJF is like got thrown through the cake. That was good. I love that. Not the cake. He called himself the Iron Man. Not the man. He's not a man anymore. He is the Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm like, what? You calling yourself a Jewish Iron Man? I don't think Robert Downey Jr. would approve of that, man.
Oh no.
It just takes off his glasses. Where exactly did you go? Did it go wrong?
I'm hurt. He says. Whatever.
I'm hurt.
So we went from that great start to the show to a popcorn match, but with an amazing return or amazing debut.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Jade Cargill.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yep, Jade Cargill just fighting a random girl off of the Canadian Indies, and then
Nicole Matthews.
Yeah, Nicole Matthews. That was Thank you for correcting me on that. And then of course that left Jade at a 54-0. I have to give props to my man Antonio for calling the shot of who came out afterwards. We got the AEW debut of Taya Valkyrie. I've seen Taya all over the place. I've seen her in Impact. I've seen her a lot in Impact. I've seen her in AAA. I've seen her on a few. She was even in NXT for a while under the name Frankie Monet. Funny enough, and she came out, and she is and it looks like she's the one looking to at this point be the woman that will take down Jade Cargill, win the TBS championship, and end this streak. And honestly, Taya Valkyrie really could. The way that she delivered that double chicken wing, an elevated double chicken wing face buster, which is technically what Jay did / the Glam Slam really is, if you want to get really technical. Ooh, I'm ready. I'm ready for this scrap.
I think the person that, to answer PWZ, the person that I feel would be amazing, but it'll never happen, would be Tessa Blanchard. I think that would be the perfect person to come in and absolutely destroy the knockoff Bianca Belair.
Knockoff Bianca Belair. I've heard people call her a female Goldberg.
So which one's better?
Yeah.
I mean, Goldberg sucks anyway. So I mean,
yeah, I know. I know. I was throwing that.
She's the female Ryback at this point.
That's true.
Well, wait a minute.
She can't speak. That promo she cut last night sucked. I was not a fan of it.
Jay just really is not a talker, which is why she has Smart Mark Sterling in her. She still has Smart Mark Sterling in her corner, but Mark Sterling doesn't really do a lot of her talking now. She's trying to become a little more independent, doing it herself. It's not.
I am Jade Cargill. I beat people up.
Philip said that independent. Maybe she needs to get off AEW and go back to the independents and get her ass beat over there.
And I mean, like, if I've actually looked at people who I wanted to see take her down, I think the main one that a lot of people wish it would be is Chris Statlander at this point, whether she comes back or not.
Yeah,
it should be Chris.
With you're talking about injuries, I know I'm all over the place today. I did read something where I'm going this WWE related. I read something last night that it's sounding like Big E is done for his whole career. He's done. Really? The neck isn't healing correctly, and he probably will never be cleared to step in the ring again.
Wow.
That's rough.
Dang, that sucks.
But yeah, PWZ. He said, I love Tessa, but she's pretty much blackballed from the business because no one wants to work with her. She's toxic. It's too bad because she's extremely talented. Well, that right there is why I said there's no chance of her coming to AEW.
Gold Bear status, man. Scott, what's up, my man?
But so we go on from that.
So I got a question before we go further. What's wrong? It's Sasha Banks over at New Japan. Would she be a good fit to come over to take out Cargill?
Mercedes Moné. I don't know. I don't really like the way that she's been. I personally don't like the way that she has been booked, because in my humble / not so humble opinion, I don't think she should have been the one to defeat Kairi for the IWGP Women's Championship. I just did not. No, not me.
I just didn't know. That's the name that comes to my mind is Moné, because she's kicking ass.
I mean, she is. Don't get me wrong, and she was good in WWE as Sasha Banks, but like, I'm not getting the same vibes that I used to get with Sasha than I do now with this new Mercedes character. Plus, I just want to add this one. AEW has announced that. They announced yesterday that they are teaming up with New Japan again for another Forbidden Door on Saturday, June 26th, this time in Toronto. Yep. And so we could possibly, we might just get a match between Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter.
That's possible too, yeah. Thanks, Al Bush. Thanks for stopping in.
Hey, Al, let's go.
No, I lost what I had.
Well, I think moving forward, I think the next match on the card was the Blackpool Combat Club versus Hangman and the Dark Order.
The Dork Order?
Dorks.
The Dork Order. But you know what though? I'm happy with what happened with what they did. Like, yeah, that you still have right now it's only Reynolds, Silver, and Uno, but they had to pull out an ace up their sleeve, because they brought the return of Stu Grayson. And I will tell you this, I am a big fan of Stu Grayson. Like, one of my favorite guys from the Dark Order, back when Dark Order was great, because he was one of their biggest strike. He was like a striker, kind of. His wrestling style was more of a striker type, and honestly, that's kind of one of my favorites. So I think it was awesome that they were able to bring in Stu Grayson.
To quote Mr. Cody Cornette, cosplay cowboy. The cosplay cowboy.
He is exactly right. Hangman Adam Page is the cosplay cowboy. I can't stand that guy.
I'm not a fan of him either. Nope. He showed me a lot in that Texas Death Match. He really did. He showed up. But I'm just gonna throw this out here. Logan Paul can still do the buckshot lariat better than him.
There you go. Build a future.
I'm just saying, I cannot agree more on that. Like Logan Paul, I don't know if Logan Paul is even younger than Adam Page, because Adam Page I think is only like 32.
Hangman, he doesn't do bad for being a former school teacher.
Oh wow, okay, I didn't know that.
31 years old, Adam Page is.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a former school teacher, and then he decided that he wanted to try pro wrestling, and then.
Oh, Logan Paul. Okay, Logan Paul's 27. All right,
Logan Paul's 27. Yeah. I used to think Page wasn't very good, but this title run was less than good, and he just isn't interesting anymore. Agreed. I never thought he was interesting to start with.
When he was part of his stuff that he did on BTE was a lot of fun. Like, it was a lot of fun. Like, before AEW formed, they had that little show they did over in Japan with BTE, with the Young Bucks, and did all that kind of stuff. That was a lot of fun. But, I mean, now this character stuff he's doing is awful.
Right.
I mean, he's almost ruining the Dark Order.
Yep. Agreed.
I want the Dark Order to be something like the Wyatt Six should have been.
Yeah. You know,
like a cult. I want that.
Evil Uno is doing a better job than Hangman is.
Yep.
He wears Jesus butterflies on him. That's true.
I mean, you're not wrong. Hey, and write this down on this day, on 3/16 day, by the way.
What?
At 1:45, I'm agreeing with PWZ.
Wow. You've agreed on several things with him.
What?
Let's switch avenues. Let's switch. We got to bring good content to this show.
I mean, and my favorite guy in that match was what Cody Cornette simply referred to as the cosplay Stone Cold. And
come on, Cody.
Come on.
You know he's probably watching. If he's not watching, he'll watch it. But Cody Cornette, no.
John Moxley is in no shape or form a cosplay Stone Cold.
No, he's not.
No way in hell.
I mean, you can't. No. Now you can use those two guys in the same sentence, but don't call one a joke and one not, because they're both badasses.
Balding plumber.
Wow.
Now you had to go ruin a good thing. I know you're not talking about Stone Cold. I know you're not talking about Stone Cold.
Here we go.
Oh, we're moving on. I don't got time for this. No.
You brought it up. Moxley is. No, dude.
Come on.
All right.
The only bad thing about Moxley is he's from Ohio.
All right, Rick. Cornette refers to Moxley as a balding plumber. Well, that's Cornette's problem.
Yeah.
So then we went on what?
I mean, that absolute beat down at the end. And Matt the Duelist, I saw you the first 2 times you put that in there. I'm choosing to ignore it. Omos will not win a World Championship.
Almost.
Almost.
I mean, the way they pronounce it on WWE is Omos, but like, I'm not gonna tell you guys how to pronounce it.
Almost. No, well, I'm just saying it because of Brock Lesnar called him almost.
Yeah, almost is almost.
Yeah. He's better than he's better than Roman.
You gotta
we are seriously taking a left turn right into the wall or taking a right turn right into the wall.
Who is this Matt the Duelist?
It's my buddy Matt. Like he's a producer. He is still a producer for the Panda Wrestling Company, and
you might want to take him off of there.
He's one of our producers. He actually does a lot. He does almost basically everything for us for like the last 2 shows that are remaining on there, which is like Free Talk Wrestling, which I'm on, and then Russell's Mania, Russell Endures Raw. So
Roman better than Roman Reigns? Oh, come on, Matt. No way.
He's honestly joking. Like he's gone on this thing almost because of stuff on TikTok.
I think he's working on making a 2K23 character. He's gonna make Omos a luchador.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm there for it. I kind of hope he makes the video after it because I want to see Omos do a fucking 619. I want to see that.
That game is a badass game, by the way. From what I've seen. So, anyways,
we went right after the beatdown of the Dark Order. We went right into Orange Cassidy and Jeff Jarrett, who put on a tremendous match. I felt.
Yes,
they did do a great match for the what do we call? We're calling it now the international title.
Yes.
That's dangerously close to Intercontinental, and I don't like it for that reason.
Oh, I'm sorry. All Atlantic for me just sounds weird because, like, last time I remember, I don't think Japan is in the Atlantic Ocean whatsoever, and Japan has a majority of some of the bigger and popular wrestlers as of right now. So, like changing it to international, yeah, it almost sounds like intercontinental, but international makes sense because, as you guys know, when it was still called the All Atlantic Championship, it was made to be a championship focused more on the wrestlers that come from all around the many parts of the world where wrestling is still big, and because they had the freaking tournament for the title. And it culminated at Forbidden Door with Pac, who's from Britain, Miro from Bulgaria, Malachi Black from the Netherlands, and it was going to be Tomohiro Ishii from Japan, but since he had COVID, they had to put in Clark Connors, who's obviously repping the US of A, and Pac won. And when Pac won, he was not defending that title on AEW at all. He was going to other promotions. He was going to literally to different promotions around the world defending that title. It wasn't really until I think the end of his reign that he started defending the title more on AEW, which is the reason why Orange Cassidy became the current champion. And he's been doing so well with his run. He's showing he's not just a joke. He's not just that whatever kind of guy. He shows that he can wrestle and he can be entertaining at the same time. He's absolutely brilliant.
There was times during that match when it looked like Jarrett was going to win, and this is the first time that I was sitting there watching it and getting like verbally pissed off. Like I was like, "No, you can't do this. Like, do not let this. Don't let this happen."
Mm-hmm.
I was all like, "No, this is not how it needs to go down." And thankfully, Tony Khan booked it the correct way and had Orange Cassidy win that match, but
yeah, I heard there was also like a crazy statistic that if Jeff Jarrett would have won, he would have had he would have achieved a statistic of like being able to win at least one one championship over the course of 40 years. Because I'm pretty sure, because obviously, because I'm thinking like 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and then 2020s. If he did beat Orange Cassidy, that would have been, of course, 40 years with a title. Like he would have had at least in every decade, he would have had at least one title, which would have been crazy.
Jeff Jarrett, best for business. Listen here, slap nuts. That doesn't.
So on that statement, Phil and Matt, would it be wrong, or would it be an honorable thing for Tony Khan to do this? I know Jeff Jarrett should be on his way out. Give him that one title so he can say that, yep, I held it in all these generations.
It would be a very crazy statistic to pull off. It would be obviously history making, record setting, whatever. But like, I don't think people are ready to really see Double J do something like crazy like this again. And I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of people out there who still like and respect Jeff Jarrett, like whether it was his days in WWE or if it was in TNA or if it was in any other types of promotions. But it would be a very crazy statistic to actually pull off. I would be cool.
It'd be honorable.
I'm not a Jeff Jarrett guy typically. But I think you don't give it to him on just a weekly show. I don't think for a statistic that big, you almost should let him win one at a pay-per-view. Yeah.
So do you see them booking it that way just to say that they had a guy that, had a guy that won it in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s? Will we see that booked?
He might. We have Forbidden Door coming up, and then Double or Nothing as well.
Double or Nothing's happening in May.
Yeah, in Phil's backyard again, no less.
Double or Nothing's going to be in Chicago?
I'm pretty sure. That's what I
thought they did it in Vegas.
Hold on.
Nervous.
Oh, it is. Never mind. My bad.
Thank God. Because like there can't be like two of these things in my backyard because like they're still all out that I'm trying to plan for.
Yeah, All Out's the one that I saw. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Good. It's good. It's good.
I knew one of the four big ones were coming to Chicago again.
Yeah.
And I was like, God dang.
I think they always do All Out. I think they always do All Out in Chicago, and they always do Double or Nothing in Vegas. I think those are the only two that like stick. Revolution and Full Gear jump around.
And so I'm excited because this is again off topic and it's somewhat wrestling related, somewhat not. I'm going to be working about 20 hours of overtime this weekend. And
so you can play for my airfare to go up to Detroit. That's what it said.
No.
Dang it.
That's that. But I will be in attendance for SummerSlam.
Ooh, okay.
I was supposed to be in attendance for SummerSlam, but when I found out it cost $1,500 to fly my wife and I up to Detroit, that's not happening, which is sucked because I wanted to go there with my brother. But hey, life happens. So.
But you're going to have fun next week.
Yes.
No, not next week. The week after.
The week after, yes. So I got to take my, one of these days, my homie and my brother Matt and I'll get to a wrestling event together, but it's just not in the books this time. So.
Right.
Anyways, enough of that. So after that was the Outcast came to the ring.
Okay. Now, before you get started, is it just me, or is that just too damn close to the outsiders?
Yeah.
You know, like, are they legit doing this? Like, are they legit right down to the goddamn spray paint? Really?
Yeah, I dig it.
I mean, it's cool, but it's not very original.
And you know what's crazy is they've got their own different colors too, because I think obviously outsiders were black and red. Like, apparently it seems the official colors of these three, the Outcasts, are more black and green. And right. I kind of dig the black and green a little bit.
It's really close to DX though.
Kind of. But I know one thing is for sure that came out of that. Saraya got fined because she used a very naughty British word.
She dropped the C word?
No, she dropped the word twat.
Really?
I guess
yes,
I missed that. I have to go watch that because I know that Ruby said once upon a Ruby goes, once upon a time the grass was greener here in AW than a couple of bitches peed on the grass. I was like, yeah.
So
facts.
Let's back one. We did miss a segment, by the way.
Did we?
And you know what? Tony's right. Tony's right though.
QT TV.
QTV? No one's here to see that shit.
I don't care.
I mean,
nobody really. Do we really care about a segment with QT Marshall? Hell no.
That piece of eye candy that was sitting in the back says different.
Whoa.
I don't know.
QT Marshall.
I missed
that segment.
Well, yeah, basically what QTV is, Scott, is QT Marshall making his own version of TMZ.
Yeah,
okay.
It was funny. It was funny, and I don't like the fact that Powerhouse Hobbs had to be part of that segment. I don't think he needed to be there.
No, not if it was a joke segment. The thing I hate about those kind of segments, and I guess I didn't see it because I'm glad I didn't. Because you got this Powerhouse Hobbs dude that busted people in the face and he's wreaking havoc. Now you're gonna throw him into a QVC type of segment? No. You're gonna ruin that guy if you keep this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the thing is, and because like Hobbs has proven he's been a freaking badass since all the time he's been in AEW, specifically with Team Taz. Like that guy is a monster. That guy can go. He may be a medium E, but I don't really care. That guy knows that guy breaks back. He says it himself. He breaks backs. And funny enough, he's even doing an open challenge. He's hosting an open challenge for the TNT title on Rampage, which was picked up later in the night by none other than Ray Phoenix.
Jay Bundy.
Let's go, baby.
Talking about Taz, I got a shout out. I was going to wait for this to the end, but shout out to Taz. I get to have the opportunity on Friday night to interview Alex Kane, which they sometimes reference a mini Taz because of their styles. He's a suplex guy from the MLW, so that's going to be an interesting interview. So,
so I guess we'll. The whole Outsiders reference, or not Outsider, the Outcasting was a tremendous segment. I didn't want to digress that deep into what we did, but it was that segment was very well put together. And so now that we have, and it is almost going down the same road as the NWO, with now you have all these people, the whole women's division is going to come at the Outcast. So who's gonna join the Outcast? Like, because they have Britt, they have Jamie, they have Riho, they have Sky Blue, they have
Willow Nightingale,
and they got 5. The 5 AEW. They need 2 more. Is it going to be a blood and guts? Is there going to be a blood and guts match? A female blood and guts?
That'd be epic.
I mean,
yeah,
it's not out of.
The crazy thing about that, though, the only reason Riho was even I don't even see why they had to pull Riho into this, because on Rampage she had her match. She had a match against Nyla Rose, and then as soon as that match was over, the Outcast automatically attack her and spray paint the L.
We both watched a different page video last night. Really?
I mean, she did get fined, but
So the acclaimed had that banger video.
Yep. Whatever. There we go.
Boring.
And then, of course, the triple threat match, or the Fatal
House of Black,
yeah.
House of Black versus the Elite versus the Jericho Appreciation Society. I also want to give a quick shout out because they showed him in the audience. Chris Jericho's own father, and Ted Irvine was in the audience that night.
Former hockey player for the New York Islanders.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Ted
Yeah.
Irvine.
Why I know that, I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't know why you know that either. But,
I thought he also did some stuff for the NFL as well, but you know what? That might just be I might, whatever.
yeah, Ted Irvine.
Yep. And you know what? I will say this. That crowd during that entire match, holy crap, I forgot how freaking pumped they get when their boys are in the ring. Specifically, Kenny Omega and, like I said, Chris Jericho. As soon as those guys were getting somewhere, that crowd was white hot.
Yes.
It was electric. The crowd really, like if you had to pick an MVP for this match, it's the crowd. The crowd was amazing. I love
the AEW crowds in general just seemed to be more into the events than Raw or SmackDown last few weeks.
Yeah, they're dedicated.
Yeah.
So my question, guys, I've not been to a Raw, AEW, or anything like that, live event, or So are the crowds smaller at AEW than at a Raw or a SmackDown?
Depending on the venue, it all depends on the venue. It really
that was
does.
just all right. Now, does AEW pipe in more sound than SmackDown and Raw, or is that just?
I don't think AEW really does use a lot of piped in applause. Like I don't know. AEW fans, when they're passionate, they are passionate. Like
it's a different breed. Then.
Yeah, they are a different breed. They will give you their opinion no matter. They will tell you how they feel. Like I will tell you this from being at AEW Thanksgiving Eve Dynamite. Like that was the first time I ever went to an AEW live event other than when I went to Forbidden Door last year. But forget about the Forbidden Door thing. But like with the AEW crowd, like especially since it was during the best of 7 between the Elite and Dark Triangle. Like there were chants of, fuck the Elite, fuck the Elite, fuck the Elite. And then next thing you know, a few seconds later, fuck CM Punk, fuck CM Punk. I'm like, oh my God. Right. Like sometimes we can be freaking fickle, but then again, at the same time, AEW fans, like they know what they like. And if there's something they don't like, they will be vocal about it.
Well, that goes to that what that reference that Tony Storm made in her promo that she cut. Be like, you guys don't know what you want.
She does. She's right. She is right though.
And I mean, there are times where I watch and listen to people's reactions on TikTok and on other people's podcasts, and they say one thing one week, and then they change their tune like 3 or 4 days later. It's like, do you know what you actually want?
Like, I mean, Bryan Danielson said it best when he was Daniel Bryan. Fickle. They're fickle.
Now, are AEW fans not Raw and SmackDown fans, or do you think they're just wrestling fans all across the board?
I honestly don't know. I personally have never been to a Raw or SmackDown before. I know I'm missing out. I need to go do it. But man, I don't know.
I saw a lot of AEW shirts at Raw when I went. I mean, I would never, if I'm going to a WWE event, I'm not wearing AEW merch. I mean, that's common sense to me anyway. But,
right.
I don't think it's one or the other. I think if you're a wrestling fan, you're going to like anything wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if I can just be honest about something, if you wear a WWE shirt to an AEW event, they don't really like AEW fans really won't give you slack about it. But I've heard it's very different if you wear an AEW shirt to a WWE live event.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. All right, sorry to rabbit hole that, but
so, I mean,
but yeah, this match absolutely phenomenal. This was one of the best ways to kick off the evening. That match, holy crap. Yeah. So many near falls, so many great spots. I'm like, yo, like I don't know. I was worried not Dark Order, what the hell? The House of Black was almost not going to win. I was nervous.
Well, see, they need to hold on to those championships for a while. So it was the right booking. They should have won. They won. I mean, that's the only way. I don't know. It should have been how they booked it to begin with.
Right, exactly, and that's how they kept it. But still, the big pop that happened when. What was it? It was just Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega in the ring. Yo.
Yeah.
Well,
they went nuts.
If you guys, anyone in the chat or whoever's going to listen to this later, if you guys want an absolute banger of a match, go back to Wrestle Kingdom. I want to say it was like 2018, 2019. It was Kenny versus Jericho in a Falls Count Anywhere match kind of deal, and it was for the New Japan Pro Wrestling United States Championship.
Okay.
And it was an absolute one of my all-time favorite Kenny Omega matches. And I'm not huge on Omega, but God damn, they put on a fucking clinic. I can't remember what year it was, but it was Jericho was still with WWE and Vince let him go to New Japan to have that match. So it was like 2018, I think.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. But that was
2018, yeah, January 6th, 2018.
Yeah. That Wrestle Kingdom match was without a shadow of a doubt one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very entertaining. Lots of spots, and it showed how talented Chris Jericho still was.
Yep. But we still have to remember at the end of that match, what was it? House of Black obviously dipped, and then what was it? We still had, we still had the JAS and the Elite still have going at it in a bit of a kerfuffle. But out of everybody that shows up to help the Elite, it's Adam Page. Adam Page being backed by the Elite. Does this mean Hangman Adam Page is rejoining the group?
Hey, I'd be there. There's a guy. I would be okay with that. I'd be absolutely okay with that.
So, but was he, or because he looked out of place for a moment? And he got looks by the Elite and Kenny Omega. Like, what the hell are you doing? If you watch it, if you read into all the visuals, I don't think he's exactly sure yet. Unless I've seen it wrong.
No, you're not seeing anything wrong. I know they're both sort of like, what the hell? What you doing?
Right.
Because again, like Adam Page is still kind of going through that thing where it's like people don't really care about him that anymore. Right. I feel like they're trying to give him some sort of a boost. I feel like they're trying to make sure, it's like, yeah, you're right here. Let's try to get you back up to where you used to be.
Yeah, and, he came in there and he looked at Moxley. Moxley gave him kind of a smirk, and he's like, "I'm dipping out of here. Bye." And he left him high and dry. And he turns around and looks at Kenny Omega, and Kenny Omega's looking at him like, what do you want,
buddy?
I don't know. That segment ended well, for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, it had a lot of questions. It was the proper cliffhanger for 100%. Now you want to tune in next week, or tune in tomorrow night,
right,
and watch Rampage, or next week on Dynamite to see what's going to happen with the Elite.
Right. Absolutely.
So that was AEW, everybody. I mean,
sure.
So then, like we said, tomorrow night back here, 9 p.m. Is that what you said?
Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Central. I believe. I will post it on Instagram and TikTok. He sent me a video, a promo video to post on TikTok. So I'm going to do that right after this. Alex Kane, come on in and watch and listen to Alex Kane talk about his MLW career. He's a badass. I would reference him kind of close to be like a Shane Taylor. Very. And then tonight, if you guys are wanting to watch, Jay Fowler, who just had a match with Kenny King, he hit me up, and he's going to come on tonight at 8:00.
Very nice.
Jay
From
Fowler.
The Rugged Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that he just now got his hands into the management of the whole Rugged Pro Wrestling. He wants to take Rugged Pro Wrestling out of Iowa to different states, so.
Nice.
I'll have to talk about that. So,
and for next Tuesday, we will be giving you the world premiere event, the debut of the newest Huge Spot Wrestling podcast. There are 4 of us now, 4 of us now. We're the 4 horsemen.
4 horsemen. Who's the 4th?
If you know, you know. That's all I'm saying. No, Tune in on Tuesday.
Tune in on Tuesday. If you know, you know. If you don't, sorry. Because guess what? I don't even know. I think I know.
Shock the world.
Shock the world.
Shock the system.
Shock the system.
So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And again, this is me. It's me, It's that MATT riding along with these guys, Phil and Scott.
And I don't say much to these guys because you know why? Because I'm
better than you, and you know it.
For not liking the guy, he sure plays his music a lot.
Yeah, I did. All right, thanks guys for joining us, Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. Thank you, Phil, for coming on. Thanks for being part of the team, bro. I love you. Thanks, Matt, bro.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Later.
Yeah.